Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike. I am Mike, and with me, as always, is Hannah. How are you today, Hannah?
I'm not too bad. It's absolutely peeing it down with rain outside. Quite a nice, cosy night for a little
cozy, isn't it?
B5 entertainment.
Yes, it is. Like sort of Bovril for the soul.
As the rest of the world is sweltering in the sunshine in summer, we're in the middle of winter.
People
in New
at
Zealand.
32 degrees in the UK, sweating, drinking Bovril. But yes, we are back. We're talking Babylon 5. Which episode are we talking about tonight, huh?
Tonight, Michael, I'm going to be.
I was going to say, very stars in their eyes, wasn't it? Tonight, Michael, I will be performing as Lisa Stansfield. That feels like a stars in their eyes.
Yeah. I can't find my baby.
Well,
Did you like that?
That was incredible.
Baby. Okay, tonight we are talking about Confessions and Lamentations.
Mm-hmm.
It is episode 18 of season 2. Dr. Franklin tries desperately to find a cure for a disease which is killing off all the Marcab on the station.
Okay.
It is directed by Kevin G. Kremen and written by JMS.
All right, then. So we'll get to that shortly. A couple of quick bits of housekeeping, though. Just a reminder that we do appreciate feedback at rewatchprojectpodcast@gmail.com. Alternatively, you can just leave comments on this here YouTube channel. And while you're there, check out the other content on this channel, including various other bits and pieces of film, television, music, and general pop culture related goodness. In addition to our friend shows, including Chinstroker versus Punter, The Good, the Bad, and the Odd, Talk Without Rhythm, and Film Bastards. Likes and subscribes, very much appreciated as well. It helps draw attention to the channel. More people find it, more people get involved, more people get involved in the conversation, and that is a wonderful motivator for doing these more often. Last but not least, we do very much appreciate donations via PayPal, but please do not donate if doing so would cause you any financial hardship, because we do not want that. Do we have any feedback, Ella?
We sure do. Can I also say one good thing about going and having a look at our YouTube channel is the increasingly unhinged thumbnails that are coming out for each episode. The last one of the B5 content, I look like I have no teeth.
Really?
It's just a big black hole of a mouth going... and Mike looks more and more, romantically aroused at various tracks that you've covered. And the Genesis one, you're like,
You got to feel the music. It's almost as though on YouTube you have to appeal to the lowest common denominator or something, isn't it? It's I've tried subtlety. Does not work on YouTube, unfortunately. You've got to.
I love to see how absolutely crazy they start looking.
It's funny though because just to pull the curtain back, the way that I do it is that I use there's a software that I use where I'll basically just do a basic mock-up of a design, and then it's just a big time saver because writing the notes for the episodes and for the videos and doing the art. It takes ages because you've got to do all of the hashtags. You've got to do all of this. So that's where I'll bring AI in. I won't use AI for anything. I won't let AI tell me how to think. But once I've done all the thinking, I'll let AI do all of the piddly crap that I don't want to do. So what I'll do is I'll finish recording an episode of the podcast or a reaction video or whatever it is, and then I'll go on to ChatGPT. I've got a template. I'll type a description. I'll just say, we've just done a review of this episode. Here's a link to it. This is generally what we thought. And then I'll say, create an eye-catching description of this, including hashtags.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do, once it's done all of that, I'll be like, give me 10 suggestions for eye-catching dynamic titles, and then I'll pick my favorite, and then what I'll do is I'll say, and then I'll create a basic thumbnail which will just be a picture of us and the background, and it usually is just a very plain non-hysterical one, and I'll upload that, and I'll say factoring in that I'm going to title this, because it'll have all of the other information that I've put in. I'll say factoring in that I'm going to title this video assess this thumbnail, and it'll come up with the things like, you need to look more emotionally hysterical, or you need to do all of this, and I'll literally just say,
Hannah needs no teeth in this episode.
we find that toothless women are big in your demographic. So no, and it'll make, and then usually what I'll do is I'll say, give me a mock-up with those changes, and then I'll have a look at it and I'll say, right, okay, so remove her teeth. And so sometimes I will say, like, just, okay, dial it back. Because there's other times where it looks like one of my children is on fire in front of me or something, judging by my reaction. But the reality of YouTube is, as soon as I started doing that, the views went up.
Yeah.
No,
I know why you do it. And I love it. I'm here for it.
But part of me does wish that I could just do a photograph of us, from the video with the poster of the thing on the background and some typeface, and that we lived in a world where that would be enough. Well, but we don't.
At least in the thumbnails, I don't look half dead with tiredness, which I do in most videos that we actually do. So you sucker people in with she looks all right.
The promise of a gummy
makeup-filled face, and then this is what you're left with.
But also, I looked at that thumbnail. It doesn't look like you're toothless. It just looks like you can't see your teeth. Like, look, if you look at me down, you can't see my teeth now, but it doesn't look like I'm just kind of like, hey, guys. I mean...
Oh my God, do that for the next thumbnail.
Yeah, I will actually. Well, I'll overcompensate. I'll tell you what, I'll just give you one big tooth on the next one. Old Chumpy over here. Well,
anyway, sidetrack there. We have had some feedback from the coolest of cool daddies.
All right, hit me.
He has said the opening scene with Londo and Veer singing opera is one of my favourite moments for their relationship.
That was an oversight. That is a great moment.
And it kind of shows the closeness of their relationship in a really easy, quick way.
Yeah. When I was watching it, I was like, that's literally what I was doing. It was like the scream.
He also says, I wonder what Reefer wanted from Londo's friend. Reefer probably threatened to destroy him to coerce him into his plans, and he refused. So, Reefer, what do you want?
Yes, indeed.
Very good point.
God, yeah, imagine if Morden had gone to Reefer first. That would have been pretty terrible.
And we've also had someone reply. I love the fact that people are replying to some comments on the YouTube channel and getting their own discussions going, which is awesome.
Yeah, we encourage that.
More of that, please. I just want to read out the reply that SD Fried 4877 put. Whoever you are in real life, thank you for posting. Juddo seemed like a highly opinionated troublemaker. It's possible that Reefer and his cabal never even approached him and just set out to destroy him right away. Very true. I mean, like he's kind of like the loud minority, isn't he? So get rid of it. Yeah.
He doesn't do himself any favours.
No, absolutely. And unfortunately, that's how rebels begin.
Yeah, I mean,
lots of people get killed before any kind of
groundswell
change happens. Yeah. The rest of the comments are spoilers, so I'm not going to read them here. But I've had a look at them all, and I'm really enjoying the conversation that's happening. It's awesome. So keep it coming.
Alrighty then. Okay. So we're going to hit pause. We're going to watch Confessions and Lamentations. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And then we'll go back to tell you what we thought of it. Oh my God. What an episode. Actually, I'll use those. I'll do screenshots of those moments. And we're back. So we've just finished.
It was a nail biter.
We've just finished watching Confessions and Lamentations, episode 18, I think you said, of season 2 of Babylon 5. Before we
potentially. Not yes, 18.
Yep. Before we get into the breakdown of the play-by-play, initial thoughts on this episode, Hannah?
What did I think of this episode? I thought it was good. I was surprised that this is one that JMS had written, because to me it felt more standalone in lots of ways, because it is about something that
predicament of the week.
Yeah, it seems to not really be connected to the larger issue, but thinking about it more, it is connected in a way of...
Well, there's a lot of character stuff.
Very key. But aside from that character stuff, there's a lot of connection in terms of the kind of propaganda that surrounds diseases, and they reference the Black Death, AIDS, how it becomes like there's a narrative of blame to certain parties of people or religions, or types of people.
Well, I mean, with COVID, we saw it.
COVID was 100% like that.
It was like the Chinese flu, all that stuff.
Yeah. And then there became that big divide of, the sheeple and the true believers and the fake news.
It really doesn't bring out the best in people.
It really doesn't. But, because there is this war going on with Centaurian Nan and all of the propaganda that comes with that, it sort of makes sense that that kind of narrative would pardon the pun, infect other things. So, that distrust of alien races.
Yeah, the xenophobia that's been happening.
Yeah, so, it starts with Centaurian Nan, but now, these people who, through no fault of their own, have got this disease, they're looked on as unclean and immoral, and within their own race, anyone who has it is looked on that way.
Well, it was the, with HIV, the gay plague, the gay cancer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's quite an interesting study of it. And I really, it's hard to say I enjoyed it, because, you're watching people, I mean...
Yeah, it's a bummer of an episode.
It is a bummer of an episode. Yeah, you're watching people die. But to see, Delenn and Lanier's humanity, I say humanity, compassion come through, and, they are bigger than their race. They are about selflessness and helping people out, because they know at some point they might need that consolation and comfort from somebody. And I think it's important for Sheridan to have seen that, he's just finding more and more things that he is finding endearing about Delenn.
Yes.
And she, him as well. So yeah, I a long-winded way of saying I really enjoyed it, but in a muted, sad way.
Yes.
I didn't get to the end of it and think, oh, yay, that was a great episode. I thought that was really sad, but it was good.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
Yeah, I really like this one. This was very Star Trek. It's weird because in some ways it was very 90s Star Trek, but in other ways it highlighted the contrast of the show with Star Trek. The fact that ultimately it's quite pessimistic. It's like we're fated to make the same mistakes again.
Market.
Yeah, well, it's what the Doctor says at the end, where he's like, "Oh, we haven't learned anything.
Nothing changes,"
which is kind of an anti-Star Trek thing. But the idea of the plague and the way it played out, it just felt very Star Trek. And as far as the JMS of it all goes, I think what we're seeing in the show here, and I'm saying this obviously with a fair amount of future knowledge, is I think we're getting to the point in the show now where JMS, it's not like, oh, okay, JMS is going to come in and write a big episode. It's more just he's taking over the writing of the show now.
Yeah.
I don't think there are too many episodes after this that are written by anybody who isn't JMS. And I said that before, and I thought it happened earlier, but I'm pretty sure now that there are only, I think you can probably count on one hand for the remaining 3+ seasons and various movies of the show. So I think it's more just we're seeing the show being transitioned from being a writing staff to being the work of one man.
One man's vision.
But also there is stuff in here, and it's difficult because I don't want to say too much. But
no, but there is stuff in here for sure.
We see a deepening of the relationship between Sheridan and Delenn, of course. We see more substance given to that xenophobic element as well. Also we...
Poochie's off doing...
Yeah, there's all this stuff about Kefir's investigations into what's going on, but also a reminder, of course, that now Sheridan is having to mute that because he knows that they don't want the word to get out that they're onto them.
Yeah.
So all of this complexity is starting to come in.
He's become almost a double agent or a triple agent.
Yeah, exactly. So it is interesting seeing a conspiracy from the conspirators' side. But I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a good opportunity for the actor who plays Dr. Franklin. I thought he was really good in this.
I thought he was good.
That's another ongoing storyline element. We're seeing him becoming increasingly, overworked and exhausted. But
unable to give himself any grace to stop.
Yeah.
And I mean, he has a point that if he sleeps, everyone's going to die, but they all die anyway. He's made himself indispensable.
Yeah, he's not got great work-life balance going on.
Really not. Yeah.
But let's break it down a little bit because there are a few specific things.
Sure.
So, we get a reminder that Kefir saw something in hyperspace and has been looking into it. And Sheridan looks spooked and kind of recalls him from engaging in these activities. And obviously the main storyline here is the Markup and the idea that they've, suppressed this disease because of the perceptions of shame. And
rather than actually finding out what the cause of it was and how to fix it.
And there's some fun bits of business with Sheridan and Delenn, and I love the whole idea. When he goes out for dinner, there's all of this huge ritual. But all the stuff with Lanier cracks me up. The fact that he's had to stay awake and not eat
for 2 days.
He's just a total cuck, basically, isn't he? For them, he's like.
I just love how in a linear way, he looks really worried that he's going to have to start again.
Yeah. He's like, I really need to sleep.
Like, I totally get it if you do it, and I'll have to start again. But
and we get this sense as the episode goes on, this idea of a disease of decadence, like HIV being the obvious one, and only the immoral can get it, and that people lie about it because of the stigma, and And it's interesting, of course, watching this post-COVID as well, because we now, as a modern society, really have an understanding of quarantine and how that actually works and the importance of that.
It really does bring the worst out in people.
Yeah.
Even
the Markup are saying, look, you're making this up to make us look bad. It's like
exactly the whole, you've probably infected our water and our food.
But I do like the fact that there is nuance here, like the fact that the Markup doctor, you get the sense he's got this relationship with Stephen, he does come around and ultimately sacrifices himself to be a guinea pig to do that as well. So it's not, there is nuance there, which I quite like.
Oh, 100%. If you were to tar everyone with the same brush, you're doing kind of what they're showing and being xenophobic in itself. Just because some of the race are, fundamentalist when it comes to their ideals of why people get sicknesses, doesn't mean that everybody is.
And all the stuff with Lanier and Delenn going into the Markup when they get isolated to kind of, minister for them. It tells you a lot about their characters, because we've still been, I think until very recently, still quite unsure about Delenn.
Yeah.
There's still this secretive element. But I think that what you see in this episode here is her actions are so unambiguously altruistic.
Yeah.
That tells you something about the character.
She wants the best for everybody. She might not tell everybody everything straight away.
Yeah.
But she is a good person.
And I think that's something that has to come from the pen of the author.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the other non-JMS writers have kind of danced around the character of Dylan a little bit because I don't think they've been given, they haven't had sign-off on that a little bit as well. And I really do like the scene where her and Sheridan say goodbye to each other and she talks about how life is a dream. We'll all meet again in a place where no shadows fall. Obviously, that's got a double meaning as well. And he says, call me John, when you return. And she does. The first thing she says is John when she returns.
John.
And I like the fact that Garibaldi, again, he's grown a lot as a character. Like, with that guy's getting beaten and he puts his hand up to be helped. So Garibaldi does take his hand and lifts him up.
Absolutely.
And I think there's a moment where you're like, oh, will he? But he does, And I think maybe season 1, Garibaldi might not have. He was quite much more conservative at that point.
Yeah.
And they tell the story about,
he would have helped him, but he probably would have kept himself a bit safer.
Yeah. And one of the things that now, post-COVID, post-anti-vaxxing and everything, that we can
No one's post-anti-vaxxing.
Sorry?
We're not post-anti-vaxxing.
No, well, post-COVID, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like, It's happened.
Yeah.
And they talk about the cats in the Black Death, how ultimately self-defeating it was, and it's like, okay, and he says that you can always guarantee during an outbreak or an epidemic that people will do the thing that makes the least sense.
Yeah,
and
100%.
It's like they really do. Things are serious because everybody's got a bit of stubble as well. There's a lot of stubble in this episode, lots of shouting and stubble.
Well, mussed up here and a bit of stubble.
And again, it is kind of anti-Star Trek in the way that basically the Markab do get wiped out.
Yeah.
The good guys save the day in the sense that they prevent it from jumping to other races. But it is still quite a downbeat ending. And I think that's one of the things that JMS brings is the fact that he was a huge Star Trek fan. And, obviously Star Trek was a huge influence. But I think at the same time, he's trying to say, we're not quite there yet. No. This is kind of maybe how we get there.
Well, this is very much more the near future rather than, a couple of 100 years.
Well, it's the story of how we get there.
Yeah.
In
exactly.
some ways. It's like Enterprise.
Yeah.
Where humans aren't perfect. They still, that's good. But any final thoughts, Hannah, before we wrap up?
I enjoyed it far more than I remembered from the first time. I actually thought this episode was much earlier in season 2, funnily enough.
I think I'd amalgamated this with a couple of other episodes as well. Yeah. Because there's a few Doctor being like Quincy righteous indignation episodes. Yeah. And I think that I'd amalgamated this with another couple of those.
I love how one of his team says it's going to take me 10 minutes and he says, you've got 5.
Yeah. And he starts lots of sentences with, damn it. Damn it, we've got to,
Yeah.
And I always remember there's a writing masterclass that I saw Aaron Sorkin do, and he said nobody ever in history, in reality, has started a sentence with damn it. He's like, that is just something that people don't. And he was talking about all these cliches that you have in film and TV that you don't realise are cliches and that people don't actually say. What is this place? That's another one. The amount of times in films and TV shows where people go, what is this place?
I feel like you would say that.
But because I've grown up watching film and TV, but people don't say, what is this place?
Yeah.
It's just one of those weird things. So while you're looking at what we're going to be doing next, just a quick reminder that we appreciate feedback. Rewatch Project Podcast at gmail.com. Check out the other content on this channel. Check out our friend shows. Donations via PayPal, very much appreciated. If you can afford to do so without causing yourself any financial hardship, what are we talking about next time, Hannah?
The next episode is called Divided Loyalties. Lita Alexander returns to the station with news that one of the officers on the station is an undercover operative. Da, da, da. It is directed by Jesus Salvador Trevino.
Okay.
and written by JMS.
Called it. All right. Well, looking forward to that. We're back real soon. Bye-bye.
Take care.